growing up when I was a kid, I always felt different from other children, and I never know like why. Because I was young. I was just like, and that was because of my dyslexic, and I felt like I was like retarded. So I was just like, and teacher always made me feel like I was retarded too. They're just like, oh, you can't understand, you don't know how to write. And also found out that I had something called kinesthetic intelligence, which is they don't teach you growing up in school. So kinesthetic mixed with dyslexic, it wasn't something you don't learn growing up.
Right.
And so so feeling bad growing up with teachers, they couldn't understand me. And since when they used to see my father sign to me, they thought like, oh, maybe every hearing person automatically think a deaf person is not, they're mentally challenged automatically. So that's what the teachers thought. Like I was like,
keep signing.
Like thought I was like mentally challenged. So I was always quiet and I always felt by myself. I was always in school. But like later on, I was growing up. Just one day I want to show people that I am smart. Like, and I can't do good in school.
God.
So, but every time I try, people always just like, oh no, you're stupid, and you can. Like, look at your family. All your brothers and sisters they're not smart.
Were they saying that, or was that going on in your head?
No, some teachers were telling me that in Ritzera.
Really?
I had teachers who didn't like me because they didn't like my brothers and sisters that went there.
And so they prejudged you?
Yeah. So like, you're just like your sister. You're just like your sister. You're just like your sister. You're just like your brother. And then they're like, you're not gonna go anywhere. And they put me in a place called Opportunity.
Yes.
Because I was failing. I was just like, but it's not my fault, because I switched things around. Because it was my dyslexic.
So you were dealing with that then, huh, Maria?
I was, and I always just felt alone by myself. I went to high school. That's when I was sent to a continuation school. Continuation school was one-on-one with the teacher, which was very good for me, because the teacher just sat next to me right here, and he'll write something, and each time if I couldn't understand it, I will follow along with him. If it was math, if it was English, if it was like just different subjects. So when the teacher would follow along, when I was following along with him, I was just like, oh, I get it. I understand now. And we were just like, oh, okay. He goes,
was he signing too then, or no?
Oh, my teachers?
Yes.
No. They were all hearing. I was taught by military people. They were military teachers, and so that's why they were very patient with me.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I like this school. I like this school a lot. And so I stayed there for 3 years. And one teacher, his name was it was Mac. I remember that. His name was Mac. And he looked at me. He was just like, you're a very smart person. Because I didn't know that sign language. Because he met my dad one time. And he was just like, sign language? And English? And he goes, your mother knows Spanish? And I was just like, yeah, that's true. He goes, do you know Spanish? And I said, no, but I could understand just a little bit. Just a little bit. When my mom speaks it, I couldn't understand what she's saying. But I would never, talk to her back. He was just like, oh, okay. He goes, that's fun. Just a little bit of just, learning how to talk in Spanish. It'll be okay. Because, you're going step by step, and you're learning 2 languages, so that's just in your head. But even though that you know 2 languages and another language, he goes, you could learn another language. And he goes, for just knowing 2 languages, that's awesome, because you're very smart. And he goes, I know how you think and work. He goes, you need to you just need to follow along. He was just going on and on. He goes, you're a very smart kid. And after a while, he started talking to counselors. And he was just like, he goes, this is a smart girl. I know she is. And they took me, that's when I had the essay, the Cassie. And when I did it, I passed the English. The English was good. The math, it took me like 3 times. But each time I tried and it took me like 3 times to do it. But each time I did it, he's like, no, it's okay, I would just help you. So he did these work problems for me. And for like the 3rd time, I passed it. And he told me, when you pass it, that you'll go to 10th grade to 12th grade, because you don't need to go to 11th grade, because he goes, you're very smart. He goes, anything that you can do, if you set your mind to it and you just have confidence, motivation, that I'll put you in the 12th grade. So that's what happened. So when I went to 12th grade, he's like, are you ready for college? And oh my God, I was very scared, because I was the only one in my family that was in college, that would be in college. And he goes, are you ready? I was just like, he goes, if you have every problem, just come to my school and I'll help you. And I said, okay, that's good. And he goes, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, well, I want to do 2 things. I want to work with animals, and I also want to be a silent interpreter. He's like, silent interpreter, that's interesting. He goes, why? And I said, well, it's because of my dad. When I was a kid, I always had to help sign to him. If my mom wasn't there, my mom wasn't there, I was there with him. And my dad always says, when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5, he's just like, oh, sign this for me. And I was just like, okay. And I was signed to, I'll interpret for him, just like at a young age. So I was just like, oh, I like it. I love being with my dad. I love being with his friends, because it was just like, it was so unusual. Like, you'll see a bunch of Mexicans, they're all speaking this language, but you hardly even see any deaf people. And I thought it was so cool. So he was just like, because if that's what you want to do, I was like, yeah, because signing to a deaf person, it reminds me of my dad. And I love my dad a lot, because he always try to help me with anything. So it was just that connection with my dad that helped. They were both big influence to me in different ways. My dad, he's always encouraged me to be like, he always told me, even when everyone put me down, he goes, no, you're smart. He goes, I could see you. He goes, you could do stuff that no one else can do.
Give you?
They gave me motivation. My dad always told me, no matter how bad you do in school, no matter how much you did this, I will always love you. Because he goes, you're going to be a great person no matter what. And I always said, and my mom was just like, you're a very smart kid. She goes, you could do it. Because who cares what anyone says? Who cares if someone says you're stupid? Who cares? Just put in your mind that you're smart. That's it. And my dad, he would just like, just all his love that he had for me, he's like, I see you. He goes, I will love you no matter what. And he goes, all you have to do is just graduate school. He goes, you could be anything, even if it's something small or something big. He goes, you will be a success.
How did that make you feel when they said that?
I started crying.
Why?
Because I felt touched. Just like someone believes in me. When out of whole people like that they ever came to my life and found out that I had this disability, that they were just like, to my family were like the only ones that supported me.
Do you feel like you have a disability?
Actually, no, not anymore. I mean, yes, it's true. Like sometimes I have my moments when I'm in class, and I'm in my math class, and like in college I'm taking like algebra 1 mixed with geometry. And each time I switched it, I would just look back, and I fix the little things. And when it comes to about English, I'm just like, I just read it again, and all I just have to do is just do like the small simple stuff. And because I was so used to it doing it back in high school, that it just goes like away. Oh, Mr. Mack.
Yes.
This is my favorite teacher. When I first came there at Kima, it was a continuation school, and it was actually a military school too, because everybody was veterans. And when I first came, the first day, when I had trouble with math, he was the first teacher that wanted to talk to me, because he knew all the students, and I was new. And I was just like, how do you remember all the students? There's like 500 kids. He goes, I love being around kids. He goes, I love each person has a different personality. Everyone's different. And when he sat next to me, because first when I went there and I wanted to do math, that's all I asked him was for help with math. He wanted to know more about me, so he knows how to talk to me. Understood how I felt, because he was in the same place too. He told me that everyone thought he was dumb because he had ADHD, and he was the only one in his family that graduated from college. So I think after hearing his life story, and just like helped me a little bit. To graduate from college.
And you will be the first.
Yeah, I'll be the first in my family to graduate from college. And I get a transfer to Sac State. And after I get a transfer to Sac State, I will try to see if I can put an application for Yale University.
Really?
Yeah, because one of my teachers, his name is Professor Gordon.
Yes.
He has a best friend that works at Yale University. So he just like, and I was his favorite student too, because I was the only one that every time he asked a question, I immediately just like answer it like right away. So I became one of his favorite students. And he goes like, if you could get A's and B's in all your classes, after you get Sac State, get a transfer to Yale University, he goes, I'm pretty sure I could get you in. After you get a transfer, and then I grew up in a harsh life. My mom, she struggled with she had 5 kids, and she struggled, and just like, I was always like, I wish if somebody could like help us, because someone showed us the way. And so I guess that was like one of the reasons why. And one of my counselors, she showed me, you could change, she goes, you don't have to change your major, but you could change your career. She goes, do you want to be a connection with those people? And I said, yeah, I do. Because it sounds like an interpreter. She goes, yeah, they make a lot of money, but you're not a connection with them.
Go on.
So I was just like, that's true. I want to be connected with these people. I want to know their story. I want to do something to help them.